Okay, kids, this is your chance to listen up. See what we can learn here. This is the story of the wise old owl. Once upon a time, in a quiet forest, lived a very old owl in the hollow of a giant oak tree. They were known throughout the woods as the wisest creature around. But the owl did not become wise by talking all day. They became wise by watching and by listening.
When you listen carefully, the world begins to tell you its stories.
Every day, with their talons holding tight to a branch high above the forest floor, the owl observed the happenings below.
I see a child helping an old person carry a heavy basket. I notice a little girl shouting at her mother.
Do you need help? Yes, I feel tired. Why won't you hear me?
The owl watched everything. They did not rush to speak. Instead, they listened to words, to tone, to what was hiding underneath.
Listening means paying attention, even when no one asks you to.
The more the owl listened, the less they always felt the need to speak.
And because I spoke a little less, I hear more.
The birds shared secrets about where the best berries grew. The wind whispered of changing season. The trees talked about the birds, animals, and insects that nested in their branches, trunks, and roots.
One day, a young rabbit boasted to his friends,
I am the fastest animal in the forest. No one can beat me, and I never make mistakes.
A squirrel chirped back.
That's not true. I've seen you trip over your own feet.
The rabbit laughed.
That was on purpose. I was testing the ground.
Nearby, other animals argued, talking over one another without listening at all.
I'm right. No, I'm right. Listen to me.
The old owl sat calmly, nodding their head, not because they agreed, but because they understood.
Those who listen learn where to step safely. Those who only talk often trip.
The owl had seen that rabbits who boasted often ran into trouble, while those who listened to what was around them grew up feeling a bit more connected to everything. And sometimes, when the forest grew still,
sometimes what we need to listen is to our own selves, our worries, our hopes, the quiet truth inside each of us.
As evening fell, the forest softened. Crickets began their song. The moon rose slowly above the trees.
The world was listening.
And the old owls spread their wide wings. They let go of the branch they were holding, releasing themselves from the oak tree, and took flight into the beautiful dark night sky.
Listen well, listen well. Who should listen well? You, and you.
And as the owl flew away and disappeared into the darkness, the forest remembered their wisdom, not in the owl's silence, but in the owl's listening.
The
end.
Our reading is by Rosemary Watola Trommer. And kids, if you can listen to hear what kind of owl the poem is about and raise your hand when you hear, what kind of owl is this poem about? And then one day, while I read aloud to my husband the news and felt the widening hole in my heart, he raised his hand to quiet me. And I followed his gaze out the window to see in the yard a small, fluffy thing with black and white eye spots on its head. A northern pygmy owl. Beside our door, stout body slightly smaller than my fist, it turned its neck a full half circle to look at me with bright yellow eyes. In an instant, I shifted from disgust with the world to awe. Awe for this fierce, bespeckled miracle, this wonder of feather and beak and claw, this small being in the grass looking back at me as if to say, here is also the news. How surprising the world can be. How quickly, when I let it, amazement overwrites my fear and makes of the hole in my heart a home.
Lift me up into the sky. I'm a bird and I will fly. Lift me up into the sky. I'm a bird and I will fly. I will fly, I will fly. I'm a bird and I will fly. I will fly, I will fly. Lift me up and I will
Lift me up into the sky. I'm a bird, and I will fly. Imagine with me for just a moment. You did not expect such a close encounter with an owl. On that winter night, so late it was the cusp of morning, you wake, you go walking. You are alone in the cloud-heavy darkness, or so you think. You get a feeling that stops you cold. Poet Patricia Faye Lyons tells what happens next. A prickling silence makes you turn, and there he is, a rectangle, brown, barred, and speckled white, tawny, amid shadows of uncertain night. A fitful winter light, moonlit, where scudding clouds permit, shows him on a corner of the shed close by where he is not hiding. He's out there on the corner of the roof like a Viking on the prow of his ship, aloof, unmoving, seeing all, one blink of his darkly glossy eye enough to quell the caperings of careless mice. He does not like being watched, however much you hide. He feels your eyes on him, two-pronged impertinence, intrusive and unwelcome, relative, disdainful even. He is away with such a delicate hop. He seems to fall off the roof, briefly downwards, until the beautiful curve of his wings takes him up no longer a rectangle, but winged kinsman of the air. He is floating down the garden, gliding on a wave of silence into the privacy of trees. Lift me up into the sky. I'm a bird and I will fly. What is it about owls that so enthralls us? So asks author Jennifer Ackerman. In her book, What an Owl Knows, she writes, owls appear in ancient cave paintings in France dating to 30,000 years ago. Perhaps the earliest picture of an owl, and in the hieroglyphics of ancient Egyptians, in Greek mythology, and among the deities of the Ainu indigenous people of Japan. Owls appear in the prints and etchings of Picasso, and as a few of us know, owls appear as couriers in the Harry Potter stories, shuttling between the realm of matter-of-fact muggles and the magical world. See, owls have a kind of duality about them. They're tender and deadly, cute and brutal, funny and ferocious. Their flight is velvetly quiet, and their hunting skills, often deployed in the darkest of night, inspire our awe. How do they do that? We see something deeply familiar in them with their round heads, their big eyes, and at the same time, they are an intimation of a whole kind of other existence, the dark-filled side of the one that we inhabit. Ted Ackerman, in his book, Animal Speak, observes, no bird has as much myth and mystery surrounding it as the owl. Part of this is because it's a nocturnal bird, and nighttime has always seemed mysterious to humans. The owl is the symbol of the feminine, the moon, and the night. It has been worshipped as a god and hated as the reincarnation of the devil. It is believed to have great spiritual powers. Jennifer Aniston notes, in many cultures, owls are deemed half bird and half spirit, crossovers between the real and the ethereal, the world of the human and the world of spirit, considered symbols of knowledge on one hand and bearers of bad luck, even death, on the other. Did you know that the Greeks believed that an owl flying over a battlefield predicted victory? In the early folklore of India, owls appear as symbols of wisdom and prophecy. So too among the Navajo, where in one story the creator spirit reminds everyone that they must listen to the voice of the prophet owl to know their future. The Aztecs considered owls a symbol of the underworld, and the Maya saw them as messengers from the place of fright. Did you know owls exist on every continent except Antarctica, and in every form of the human imagination? Ted Andrews writes, the owl has great vision. They can adjust their eyes from the telescopic to a microscopic lens. Like humans, they blink by closing the upper eyelids, giving them a human-like expression. Unlike humans, though, their eyes cannot move. They can only look straight ahead. That's why their neck is so flexible, giving them a wide range of peripheral vision. Anderson notes the yellow coloring of the eyes is very symbolic. It hints of the light of the sun alive in the dark of the night. The sun lives through the owl at night. Andrews also writes that an owl's hearing is just as keen as its eyesight. For this reason, Anderson says, owls are symbols that embody the spiritual power to be able to see and hear what is hidden in the shadows or hidden deep within us. It's said that if we meditate upon owls, or if the owl is our spirit animal, we will gain a deeper connection to our own intuitive knowledge. Our perception will increase. Our self-awareness will deepen. We will understand and grow in wisdom. Like the owl, we learn what we need to release to take flight. Like the owl, we know what we must reach for to let our spirit soar. Lift me up into the sky. I'm a bird, and I will fly.